That's awesome. I'm gonna bust my tail. Pretty cool. We're out here on Porter's Lake. It's finally frozen up enough to ride on. I think there's like 5 inches of ice here, maybe 3 inches towards the glacier. Man, he's cruising. That thing's pretty sweet. We're riding the old fat bike here, the Corvus, which actually does have studded tires, so that's the only way I'm able to grip this ice right now. My shoes can't even grip it. It's crazy. I just heard the lake crack up under it. It's making all these shipping noises. Still kind of scary. I've got this old railroad tie with me, and I keep that strapped around my chest, so if I fall through, I can use that to stab my way back onto the ice. Hopefully I won't be doing that. This lake is super deep too. Holy crap, that dude's going like 25 miles an hour with that thing. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, this is Timmy here, and this is the top 10 reasons why you don't want to move to Alaska or visit Alaska. This is coming from an Alaskan. I've been up here about 22 years, and I used to come up when I was a kid also before that, so kind of been around a little bit and know the land pretty well and kind of know what to expect at this point. I still love it, but this state is definitely not for everybody. So reason number one, the cold. Obviously it is winter for a lot of the year up here. It usually starts snowing in the middle of October, and we have snow until usually the first week of May at least, kind of down low at sea level. Sometimes the mountains have snow until kind of mid-June, so it just kind of depends. But it's a really cold place to live, and if you're not into cold, you're in the wrong place. You don't want to visit here. Summers are also not very warm. Last summer was pretty much average temperature around 60 degrees and rainy the whole time, so it's definitely not a bright, sunny, warm place. Reason number two is it's just dark. At the darkest part of the year, winter solstice, we've got about kind of 4.5 to 5 hours of usable daylight in the Anchorage, Alaska area. If you go further north, there's 30 days where the sun never goes above the horizon. So it's like a sunset for a few hours a day. And yeah, it's hard to do stuff outside. It's hard to get stuff done when it's that dark. So it's a big hindrance. And at the same time, summertime, it's super bright, basically never gets dark. And a lot of people have a hard time sleeping or just adjusting to it, so get insomnia almost. But you can also use that to your advantage and get a lot of stuff done in the summer, which I love. You kind of go into hibernation mode in the winter and switch it around in the summer. Reason number three is it's remote. You're really far away from everything when you go outside and do something up here. Even the cities, yeah, when you're driving from Seattle, Washington to Anchorage, Alaska, there is nothing for thousands of miles hardly. There's a couple cities in Canada you're going through, but there's not a lot of humans, not a lot of cities. So you're really isolated from everything. And the same in nature, whenever you go out, it's up to you to get yourself back out of the woods. You have to be self-reliant and really just be smart when you're out in the woods to make sure you survive and come home. My buddy and I just did a trip out into the Alaska wilderness. It was last weekend, and we were about 100 miles from cell phone service from the nearest service, so it's just an idea of how far out you can get yourself around here. And on that same note, that brings us to reason number 4. You're disconnected from the lower 48. You're basically 2,000 miles away from the lower 48 United States. And if you have family down there or friends or whatever, it's really expensive to go fly and visit them, so you don't get to see them very often. I try to see my family once a year over kind of holidays or whenever I can, but you just can't drive down and say hi really quick. It's kind of a big deal to go down there. Reason number 5, you're not on top of the food chain. Wintertime isn't as much of an issue unless you're on the North Slope where there's polar bears and stuff like that, wolves you have to worry about. But bears are an issue up here. It's a reality, way of life. And you don't really need to be scared of them, but you need to be prepared for them. Usually when I'm on my remote adventures in bear country, I'll bring a 44 Magnum, a Smith & Wesson Special for protection, pack that hot with bear rounds, or I just recently got a 12-gauge shotgun just for a little added protection. Makes it feel a little better, but a lot of people carry bear spray up here and make a lot of noise in the woods when they're walking, so that's one thing you gotta be concerned about. You can't go for a casual walk in the woods anywhere and expect to be just fine. Reason number 6 is the expensive living. So obviously we're far away from everything, so it costs more to live up here. It's kind of like living on Hawaii or on an island in a way. Everything costs more that you buy. It doesn't matter if it's groceries, car parts, even services like renting a car or having someone come dig up your septic system, hiring contractors to build your house. It's all more expensive up here, so that's something you gotta be conscious of for sure. Reason number 7 is a resource-driven economy. So Alaska is extremely dependent on oil. So if anything happens with the oil fields or it slows down, our state is affected by it. We've stopped having services, and our budget is cut way down just because we don't have income tax and stuff like that, state income tax. Just last year, I believe the oil industry contributed about $2.2 billion to the state of Alaska just for road construction and whatever else we need up here. So if we lose oil for any reason, we're in trouble up this way. Take a little breather really quick. About halfway across the lake right now. It is cold. The wind's ripping right now. Reason number 8, mosquitoes. There are so many bugs up here in the summer, so when it's finally warm enough for you to take your jacket off and enjoy the sun, you can't, or you get eaten alive. A lot of people use DEET or bug repellent or whatever, but really the best way to deal with them is just to wear like a hoodie and a hood and keep swatting around your face. It works pretty well. But bugs are definitely a factor up here, and you kind of can't escape them. Sometimes if you get up high in the mountains where it's windier, you can, but if you're down in most of Alaska, there's going to be a ton of mosquitoes in the summertime, so that's something to keep in mind. They're not quite as bad if you come in the fall. They start kind of dying off mid-August. That brings me to my next reason, rain. It is super rainy up here. Summer times, you know, I would say maybe 25% sunshine is what you get in most of Alaska. If you're up in the interior, like towards Fairbanks and up in that area, they get a little more sun. It's a little hotter up there, but it's a rainy place. You're basically in a temperate rainforest for the most part, and just like this is basically a rainforest. It's something to consider and something to plan your trips around. And usually when the bugs start clearing up, it just starts dumping rain in August. So if you don't like rain, this is not your place. And finally, number 10 is housing. Housing can be an issue up here. A lot of the towns, unless you're in Anchorage or Fairbanks, all the towns are really small up here, and more like a village almost. And it's just difficult to find places to rent, and it's usually not cheap when you can find them. So one of the most difficult towns is the town that I live in, the ski town, and it's not easy to find a place to rent, and it disappears really fast. You get on Facebook Marketplace or search around on real estate sites and stuff, and things disappear super fast, so you got to be on it. So if you were to try to move up here, it's definitely something to take into consideration. Trying to find a place to stay can be kind of difficult and expensive. Ooh, that's sketchy. Little pressure ridge in the ice. Crap here. Let's get on the other side of it. And the final reason or concern is something that maybe some of you guys don't care about too much, and that's dating. Unless you're in Anchorage, it's gonna be kind of hard to meet people and find a proper mate or a proper partner to spend your time with. And that's just kind of a reality of living up here. There's not as many humans. The entire state of Alaska has a population of right around 500,000 people, a little over 500,000, like 600,000. And keep in mind, Alaska is basically a quarter the size of the United States almost. It's a big state, so that is not a lot of people in that large a space. So yeah, if you're looking for a partner, life partner in crime, it's probably ain't the place to find one. Well guys, that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a different one, but I like mixing stuff up and keeping you guys entertained and entertaining myself. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button down there and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of the videos. I try to post content every week, at least once a week, and get a video out. So see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.